I am going to dive into the battlefield, the war within, and share my channeled look. I haven't even been wanting to do this. I mean, I have been wanting to do this. I have been wanting to do this since day one. However, I knew that I'd be met with opposition because I already had sent out an email blast about my thoughts and I was met with so much resistance. The thing is, I am a healer. So when I tune into what's happening, I look at it at the energetic level, not just the human 3D level. So I want to share with you what is happening and how you can support it on your end because we are all connected. And that's why we have our monthly healings because we know that when we heal ourselves, we are effectively supporting the world. Okay, so I have notes. The war within, how our collective trauma fuels global conflict and what we can do about it. Right now, people are exhausted, they're drained, they're having trouble focusing. I feel this as well. There is also just like, why bother? Why should I even attempt to do anything for myself when there are people suffering on the other side of the world? And here's the thing. This is what I have seen with my eyes in my community. I've seen parents being so particular about political candidates. I know you're like, where are you going with this? Just follow me. They have been so particular about certain candidates, political candidates, that then their children are walking with an anger around that candidate or another one, outrage, hatred, etc. And then they walk into school with that energy because basically, if I were drawing a picture and here's a circle and here's you with your thoughts or me with my thoughts and they're negative, that is spreading out to every single person around me and then every single person around them. So it continues. If I was spreading in an energy of love, that is a higher vibration. It actually collectively supports 750,000 people around them based on David R. Hawkins' work. So when this child goes into school, knowing how awful or what an idiot or, what a bad person, so-and-so political figure, and they start to outcast and create division in their school with their classmate. So the idea is to not do this, right? We don't want to be creating division at all. We want to choose our own emotion. They're valid, but saying that one party is wrong and another party is right is not going to support. We have to tune in to our own truth, not one that's been placed upon us, because what we're doing is we're activating old imprints in our DNA from our ancestors, from past lives. If you don't believe in past lives, just look at your genetics. All these emotions have been passed on. And that's what I do as a healer. I tune in and I clear this energy. And so that you can be at a level of peace and opportunity and possibility. We are imprinted. And people that are fighting are imprinted. There's been constant battles for generations. Just go back all the way. There's battles. These battles are there. And history is repeating itself. I'm watching The Chosen. I'm like, oh my God, that's still happening. That's still happening. That's still happening. That's still happening. It's not like this is something new. It's awful. It's catastrophic. It's unfathomable. Are you kidding me? Yes. It's heart-wrenching. So the thing is, if we can get into the compassionate energy about it, instead of the anger and the hate and the outrage, then we can start to figure out where are the emotions within us. Is it in your heart? Is it in your throat? Is it in your back? Do you feel stabbed in the back? I often will feel all of this energy when working with clients because all this stuff has been happening. And they may not be aware of where these particular aspects are in their body. So when you start to feel, and all of a sudden you feel energy in your throat, you might be like, oh my gosh, where am I not using my voice? Now, breaking the cycle of conflict depends on each of us. So when I have conflict with somebody, AT&T today, I know it's ridiculous, but I was super frustrated and basically was like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta go. I have a meeting, and hung up. So what I'm doing right there is I might be passing on anger and frustration to the person on the other end that's doing their best to help me, right? So I'm basically contributing to aiding out. That's not what I want to do. So we have to stop ourselves, watch the hateful things and the really extreme judgmental things that we're saying, because it's all within us. And we need to see, okay, where is it in my body? Then once you find it in your body, who gave it to you? Did you bring it through because just into this lifetime? Did you pick it up from a parent or another other authority figure, maybe a teacher that you aligned your truth with? You want to get to where the anger, where the frustration, where it all stems from. So if I were thinking about the AT&T moment, I could be like, okay, when is the first time that I expressed my truth and somebody didn't meet it, or they denied it, or they said I was wrong? And then I could think to myself back to that moment. I do this for my clients. Sometimes it's hard to think, especially as I'm doing this video. I'm like, where I'm like, immediately I hear 7 years old for me, but I'm not totally tuning in, right? So I would tune into that and be like, okay, so when I was 7, this happened, and that may be continuing to repeat itself too, because it's also history repeating itself. Also, I forgot when I was talking about the children and children being educated by the parents, this is happening overseas. And they are being told, the Jews are awful. And they are taught that from a young age. So if you are taught that from a young age, you hear it from your parents, you hear it from teachers, you're going to believe that it's truth unless someone sparks something within you that makes you feel otherwise. And even then, a lot of times they have such fear of actually being in their own truth because it's kill or be killed. So I'm not trying to say that this is right or this is right. There is no right party here. This is about we all as a collective need to learn to find peace within ourselves and figure out where we are creating conflict in the world and where we are in conflict in the world. And then dive into that, like I was saying, in your body, because as you find peace, as I find peace, the world finds peace. And that is the way to rewrite history through releasing these energetic imprints of hostility towards another person, of being under control, of not feeling freedom and joy and love and peace. We are hurting ourselves and the people in this world. So let's get to the level of love, supporting 750,000 people. This is not a easy thing to share because adversity is alive. Adversity is very alive. Okay. It's not easy for me to share these truths that I channel, that I've downloaded, when I know so many people around me feel differently. And I am here for change. I am here to speak through the higher consciousness that I download, that I get, and spread love. So feel free to join our next Being One Global Healing. It is at bethanylondon.com/mobile. You'll see the link to Being One. And also, if you are interested in any sort of cord releasing, healing like that, I do have unique new offerings on that where I just tune in and bring to you the healing that I channel for you. So easy. And this channeling is powerful. It leaves people feeling free. It leaves people feeling understood. And through that, new possibilities are possible.